Alright, I have updated to indev 2010-0202, and as you can see, it adds stuff already. There is E, which is just the amount of entities. There's P, which is the amount of particles, so if I break a block, yeah, that's a lot of particles. I still can't pick block things. And then there's LT, which is just the number of chests. Here's another feature: survival test mobs have been re-added. So creepers will drop gunpowder. Oh, here's sheep. Wow, yeah, there's a lot of mobs. A skeleton dropped feathers. That's weird. Another thing is that stone blocks like this no longer require a pickaxe, although it seems like they break way slower. But yeah, they still drop. It seems like the hostile mobs still drop random drops. They don't have their own drops. Alright, I have updated to indev 2010-0206. And this version adds new settings in the form of difficulty. So you can set this to peaceful, which will have no hostile mobs, easy, normal, hard. Yeah, you probably know how this works. You can now continuously craft items, so yeah, that is really helpful. And a new tool has been added. So let's make one right now. The hoe, and actually, for reasons I will get to later, I'm actually going to craft a different one. Alright, I'm pretty sure these are the apples. For some reason, they have the texture of a gold helmet. I know that these are still apples and not just converted to gold helmets, because there was somewhere in the change log that said something about apples having their textures changed to gold helmets. I'm crafting a golden hoe because for some reason these have way more durability than the other ones. These can create farmland, and creating farmland is the way of getting seeds. Alright, so I have finished the greenhouse. Took a lot of glass, but I'm happy with it. It has a tree in the middle and some farmland where we can grow some crops. And this tree, which okay, you know what? I'm just loading the world back up. Alright. Where did that come from? Alright, anyway, as I was saying, it has a tree. I meant to have this tree be one that has a 2-block tall stump, and it was actually perfectly tall enough, but it wouldn't grow, so I just took out the roof, and it grew, but it grew 3 blocks tall, so it's kind of just going through the roof right now. I need to smelt a lot of sand and gravel for that glass, so I made this fire pit. It has charcoal in the bottom. Alright, I've updated to indev 2010-0212, and yeah, it shows Notch's skin for some reason in the inventory. It seems to actually just show random armor. Or, well, probably just the different armor types to test them. Alright, I've made myself an iron helmet. Yeah, it doesn't seem to change the armor that's actually on the model in the inventory. And they currently have no functionality. They don't protect you or anything. The next thing is torches. They now need support, and now they don't just here, let me show you. They don't connect to other blocks like they would. And so yeah, now their actual direction is saved instead of just auto-generated, so I guess it just defaulted. At least I think that's what's happening. It just defaulted to upright. So there is a lot of weirdness going on. If we go downstairs, oh, you just like run into a floating torch. Let me see if I can find other places where torches are. That does mean that stuff like this is discontinued, and obviously the like broken torches. Oh, there were some in the Indev house. There's probably some in some random caves. That's funny. Another thing is, for some reason, now you can't make it rain by pressing F7, I believe it was. No, that's not it. F5. Yeah, F5 now does nothing. And now you might notice the sun is moving. At least I think it is. Yeah, it's moving. And this is because there is now a day-night cycle, which is exciting. So I'm going to wait for it to turn night. Alright, it's going to turn to nighttime very soon. And also, one thing I noticed is that there are like waterfall particles now. So that's cool. I like that. Oh. Yeah, now there are hostile mobs out. I don't know if these mobs were here before. Oh. Wow. Okay. Alright, I've updated to a version made on the same day. There's no longer armor on the player, and also the actual player model displays instead of just Notch's skin. And my player is all black except for the face. So yeah, I'm just kind of a floating head. And now the crosshair like inverts whatever is behind it. So you can see it changes color depending on what I'm looking at. Alright, I've updated to 2010-02-13, and there were only a couple of changes. One is that undead mobs burn in daylight, and two is that spiders only attack at night now, unless you attack them. Hopefully soon this wheat will grow. I haven't been saving the world, so... Oh! Wow. Where are my torches? Did that creeper just blow the other one up? Yeah, what I meant to do was just cover myself up and AFK until the crops grew. Alright. This is my temporary solution, since there are no doors yet. Alright, it has been a long time since the last clip. Not because this wheat took forever to grow, but because I kind of just forgot. But a while ago, I did get enough wheat to make some bread. Middle click still doesn't work. Alright, I just straight up have a crafting table here. This time I'm gonna place it inside the greenhouse. And this is how you craft bread. It is very expensive. Anyway, that'll be all for today's episode. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.